Let me know about that. Ada North Pole, what do you think are good ideas for CIP proposals, stake pool ecosystem media support, and how to get media funding beyond content creator, delegation, smart contracts for ultimate delegation? There's CIPs and CRCs. CRCs are standards. CIPs are actual infrastructure upgrades. I don't really imagine that the community is going to have a lot to say on the CIP side for hard, soft fork worthy infrastructure improvements for the next few months. What we're going to do is, now that we're on the other side of the launch of Shelley, we're going to backfill all the stuff that we didn't get around to when we were building Shelley. So there's a lot of documentation that's coming, and a lot of things are going to be written as CIPs retroactively. Once we prime that pump and get things going, then you'll have a much better idea there. Now, to your second question about media funding beyond content creator, the fund is coming. This DC fund will be accepting ballots for our partner submittable in July. So start thinking around about what would make sense. One thing I would love to see are 2 more podcasts in our ecosystem. So I think the Cardano effect is great in that it delivers general content for a general audience. And Rick and Philippe, occasionally Sebastian, who comes on sometimes as a special host, have done a great job with the Cardano effect. And they're almost about to hit their 100th episode. But we don't have a developer-centric podcast like Let's Talk Plutus, something like that. And it'd be super cool to have a show where an actual engineer goes through as an episode how to build a particular type of dApp as a tutorial. So something like, let's show you how to issue a token. Let's show you how to do CryptoKitties on Cardano. And start to finish, writes the code with you, talks about it, and maybe it's a 2-3 hour episode or something like that. I'd love to see that long form. I think it'd be super popular. And after you get, 400 or 500 episodes, you basically cover everything anybody would ever want to build in our system as a good reference point, and it'd create a great developer community around it. The other thing that I really would love to see is a governance-oriented podcast, basically one that talks about the expert class, the treasury system, ballots that are floating around, and maybe a weekly update about what's going on there and things that are on the horizon. And it talks about governance in general, and basically brings on domain experts in political science and domain experts in voting theory, domain experts in complexity theory, people who understand sociology and psychology, people who understand economics, and just talk about voting in general. Like, you could bring Lawrence Lessig on, you can bring all kinds of people on who have been talking for years. You can bring Noam Chomsky on, for example, on all sides of the political spectrum, left and right. Thomas Sowell would be a phenomenal guest to bring on into the ecosystem, and basically say, hey, we have this hot potato, which is we have to talk about governance. Let's talk governance. And that would be super fun. So if anybody wants to ideate how to create and who could run such a thing, that would be a great ballot to see form. It'd instantly produce a huge amount of value for the community, just like Let's Talk, just like the Cardano effect has done. And it's basically a Leo Laporte play, what he's done with Twit. If you go to twit.tv, twit.tv, you can see the Twit network, and he's been around for 30 plus years doing tech stuff. He's interviewed everybody. And basically, if we could replicate what Twit has done for technology in general and the tech ecosystem for Cardano, that would be a huge differentiator for us. Another thing I've been considering is collaborating with both Bats and Hive if we can. And it would be really nice to build better content distribution. In particular with Hive, because they split from Steam, they're going to have to build their own tech roadmap. And it may make more sense for them to be a sidechain of Cardano. So we can certainly have that discussion. But if anything, it'd be nice to syndicate content through them and start sharing ideas with this community, because we really need to be better at curation. And frankly, our media in this space sucks. Just sucks. Absolutely is god-awful terrible. It's a dumpster fire in a dumpster fire. It's like somebody put a miniature dumpster that's on fire inside a larger dumpster that's on fire, and then put it in a lake of fire just to prove a point about how bad the media is. So it'd be super cool to see if we can do a better job curating that and building that out. And it'd be great to see if Cardano could be part of that story. I'd love for that to be the case.